Welcome to Ghouls Night Out with your hostesses, Brandy and Jody.
Hello, beautiful ghouls. Welcome. This is Brandy. I'm here with my sister, Jody.
Hello.
So I wanted to just mention the anniversary episode from last week. Thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate it. It's been a year already, and we are so thankful for everyone who's written in and all you guys who have started just now, the new listeners and the ones who have been with us since the beginning. So again, we just thank you so much. Also thank Chris for joining us. And Ashley wrote in, she wrote in a lot this week. So just to touch on something about the anniversary episode, she said, can you let Chris know she sounded adorably fun and was a wonderful guest, please and thank you. That was such a good idea to go back and relive some of the first ones. So yeah. I did want to mention that, and that was such a great idea.
We had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, it was great. So thanks again, Chris, for kind of hosting that episode, because we really didn't have to do anything.
We didn't do nothing.
Yeah, it was great.
Drink and have a good time.
Exactly. So yeah. And like I said, Ashley wrote in a lot this week. She said that the anniversary episode kind of made her think a little bit about a few things. So, and I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later. But I do have some embarrassing moments to start the episode off with.
Yay.
So, first one, I was staying at a nice hotel while traveling for work. They had a great pool. I went in there one morning and I was the only one there. I started messing about, recreating the opening scene of Jaws where the girl realizes that her leg's been bitten off. Then lots of splashing like the shark had come back for a second go. Then I tried a bit of synchronized swimming, kicking my legs up in various shapes. Then I did a bit of a goalkeeper practice by throwing my goggles and diving to catch them. Then I saw a window overlooking the pool and a family of 6 people eating breakfast and watching me. I'm a 51-year-old man.
I totally was picturing a woman.
I'm not a young woman at that, Oh, it's funny.
He's doing him. He's good.
Exactly. It sounds like he had a great time. Okay, next one. After a dress fitting, my seamstress made some remark about how she appreciated me not sucking in my gut, which would have thrown off the measurement. I then proudly proclaimed to her and her husband that I never suck.
Aww.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. In middle school, my crush's mom and my mom drove the exact same SUV. They even had similar license plates. After school one day, I ran up, hopped in my mom's car, and started talking. When she didn't talk back and hadn't left the pickup row after about 30 seconds, I looked at her. She was not my mom. I looked to my right, and my crush is standing outside the car looking at me like I'm crazy. I sheepishly got out and ran a few cars back to my real mom. A few years later, I had moved back to the area and was a cashier at a local store. My crush came in through the line, recognizes me, and started saying, "Were you that girl where I interrupted with a yes, handed him his change, and quickly started with the next customer?"
Move along. There's nothing to see here.
Okay, so I don't understand why this is embarrassing necessarily, but it was in with the stories and I found it a little funny. So this one time I was at a funeral. My cousins and I saw an older gentleman approach the casket. It was an open casket and he started talking. No big deal, but what he said killed us. It was something like, "Hey Jude, I'd ask how you're doing, but you're dead."
Alrighty.
So, I don't know if they thought maybe that would embarrass him. I don't know. It was weird. But, anyway. I lost control at my grandmother's wake. She loved collecting toys and prizes from fast food places, and we had a box of some of her favorites sitting under her casket during the viewing. One of these stuffed items was the talking Taco Bell dog. The room was mostly silent, save for some crying people, when suddenly this darn dog decides to spit out one of his lines, and the line was, "I think I need a bigger box." So picture this, in a silent room full of mourning family members, all you hear is the line coming from what seems to be the casket. Everyone just lost it. We were loud enough that the mortician came in to complain that we were disturbing some other patrons. My Grammy would have loved that story.
Awesome. That's not embarrassing. That's great.
Yeah, and I like those two were in with these, but I didn't think they were embarrassing. But
That is hilarious.
yeah, they were great.
Talk about making a horrible situation a little bit lighter.
Exactly. Oh,
That was probably her thinking, okay, this sucks. Let's do something about that.
Another one that's not really embarrassing, but pretty funny. This happened to my dad recently. He had a coworker who was a bit of a cat lady. She and her husband never had kids, so the cats played a role in their lives. One day she came to work pretty visibly shaken up, so my dad pulled her aside and asked what was wrong. She said her husband was doing laundry last night, and while loading the dryer, the cat must have jumped in behind his back.
Oh, no.
He then proceeded to turn on the dryer, and unfortunately the cat didn't make it. My dad says, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. What was your cat's name?" She answered, "Fluffy." My dad lost it. She was probably totally serious and like devastated.
You gotta see the funniness of it, though. I mean,
Yeah, that's
Amy
just too
actually
perfect.
did that before.
Oh no, that is
Yeah.
horrible. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that poor thing. Yeah, that's awful.
Could you? Oh no.
No. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Sitting around the kitchen table with a newish boyfriend's mom and dad in the living room. These are back to embarrassing moments. He's filling out a form for a sleep apnea test because he snores like a bear at night. Most of the questions he needs to ask other people because they happen while he's sleeping, like, does your snoring wake your partner? A question comes up, do you suffer from impotence? And I immediately answered, nope.
Oh.
Cue the slow head turn of the mom and the boyfriend, plus immediate laughter of the dad in the next room. Felt my face go cherry red and sank deeper into my chair. That's how they found out we were intimate.
Could you imagine the mother?
Oh my god. Oh my god, no.
I wonder what I would do in a situation like that.
I mean, it is what it is. What are you gonna do?
Well, yeah, there's nothing you can do. But see, I don't know if I would be like instantly mad.
Yeah.
Or start cracking up.
Yeah.
Or what?
I don't know. Yeah. And it really depends on how old these kids were.
That's true, yeah.
So, okay. I was deathly afraid of public speaking in high school. When I had to give a speech in front of the class, my legs would shake and I would sweat profusely every time. We had to give an oral book report to the whole class in my senior English class. I'm sitting in a chair, legs crossed, sweating with anticipation, when my teacher calls my name and says, "You're up." I let out a deep breath and go stand up. I forget to uncross my legs, so I trip. But I don't trip, I stumble. I try to regain my balance, but instead I pick up speed. I tumble for about 10 feet before I finally fall. I get up as the whole class stares at me. I slowly walk up to the front of the class and say, "Well, this speech can't get any worse now." The moment helped me overcome my fear of public speaking, though. Since then, I've given multiple speeches in front of large crowds with no problem. Man, that would be so
I would
embarrassing.
die. Oh my god.
Especially if you try to regain, but you're just like,
and you can
fast
picture,
running.
because it happens to everybody at one point or another.
Oh my god! But in front of an entire,
no,
oh my gosh,
that would be horrible.
But so funny. Okay, next one, short backstory. I have epilepsy. We discovered I have epilepsy after a full-on tonic-clonic seizure for the first time when I was standing in front of my locker in 6th grade. It was the first one of my life, and my body didn't know what to do, so I ended up peeing my pants. It's the only time I've ever lost bladder control during a seizure. Fast forward to 10th grade, I was in class talking to a new kid who I just so happened to have a crush on. I told him my name, and the girl turned around, took one look at how we were sitting together, and said, "Aren't you the girl that peed herself in middle school?" He never talked to me again.
What a bitch.
Yeah, that wasn't. I mean, that wouldn't be embarrassing for her, but yeah, what a bitch.
And why wouldn't he talk to her about something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, you're in high school now. Who cares what happened?
Obviously, he's not worth it. so.
Exactly.
Bye, boy.
See ya.
All right. This one's kind of funny. In middle school, I used to have a bad habit of chewing on these pens that had sharp tips and came in red, black, and blue ink. I can't remember the brand, but they had a gray body and a little see-through window to see what ink was left. Anyway, what I didn't know is that the tube was slightly pressurized, and one day during class, I bit too hard on the pen, making it burst into my mouth. My teeth, tongue, and lips were stained blue for days, and everyone went around saying I did the dirty with a Smurf. Huh?
I thought it was going to be the red one, and it looked like she had like blood.
Oh, that would be horrible. I mean, but all of it's horrible.
Well,
but
yeah.
Yeah, red. Oh, that would be bad.
Yeah.
I used to wait tables during a busy Sunday post-church lunch rush. I had to make a sundae for a table in the very back corner of the restaurant. I get up to the table and the entire party starts laughing. I'm standing there holding the sundae, super confused. I look down and realize that I had somehow managed to get a large amount of whipped cream directly over my crotch while preparing the sundae. It was nowhere else on me, just my crotch. All I could do was put the sundae down, say, "Oh my gosh," and speed walk back through the entire restaurant to clean myself up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's terrible. Okay, this one is hilarious. When I was younger, I was arguing with my dad and called him a fun sucker, except I got my consonants mixed up and called him, you know what, in front of my whole extended family. Son fucker? That's really bad. He was probably like, what? Oh my god.
I would die.
Okay, I was in 8th grade and we were watching a very serious movie in class about a tragic historical event. At that moment, a friend of mine leaned over and put these 2 masterfully carved wooden bird pens on my desk. He had bought them at some shop in the mountains over the weekend and waited until then to show me. I couldn't help myself. It was so weird, but I burst out laughing. The teacher pauses the movie and said, "You think this is funny?" I showed her the pens, still laughing, and got lunch detention for a week. Could you imagine? But the pens! Some things just tickle you. Okay. My birthday party, about 15 years old, a kid knocks on the door. I answered. The kid's front tooth is green, like from rot. It was a temporary cap or something. I just stared at him, and he said hi, and I said, tooth. Pretty sure we were both humiliated. We did not retain the friendship. This tooth.
What's that movie where someone's got a huge mole on their face?
That is
and all
Austin Powers.
Okay.
That is the funniest shit. I remember just rewinding that part over and over because he's like, mole, mole, mole. Oh my god, it's hilarious. Okay. Oh, this one. I once asked a woman in the elevator when she was expecting. She said, "Expecting what?" I stood frozen and silent until I got off.
What if we said, do not ever
Never
ask that?
It doesn't matter if she's super skinny and it looks like a basketball in her shirt. Don't ask.
Just
Nobody's
mind your
ever
own
pregnant.
business. Mind your own
Nobody's
business.
ever pregnant. Unless it's yours. Okay. This one's kind of sad. I ran into an old coworker at McDonald's. Our tenures had overlapped by about a month, and that was several years ago. He recognizes me and calls me over to his friends and tells them, "This is the nicest guy I've ever met." In the next 3 minutes, I called him by the wrong name and asked him how he liked a job he never worked at.
Oh, God.
It was pretty clear I hardly remembered him. I was so embarrassed that I got my McDonald's to go and ate it in my car. I'm midway through my burger when he and his friends walk up and get in the car directly facing mine.
Oh.
We made awkward eye contact while I ate my food, and then they drove off.
See, that's why I don't talk to anybody.
Exactly.
Ever.
Just
if I see someone I know, I'm like ducking behind shit, trying to hide.
even if you do know them, pretend you don't, and then you don't have to worry about it.
Don't make eye contact. Pretend like they're not there.
We're not weird at all.
No, not at all.
You're weird. I was in an elevator area of my former job wearing a skirt that was a little too big for me. Luckily, I had one of those long sweaters on over top because I was talking to the maintenance guy, and the skirt just dropped to the floor like, and we're done here. The guy and I just stared at each other for a small eternity.
That's almost worse than like freaking out.
I
You're just
know.
standing there like, you didn't see that.
This is not happening. Oh my gosh. I was talking to Aaron about that because we went to the casino one weekend and we were on the escalator. Mm-hmm. And I always wear skirts. It's like my thing.
Yeah.
And it's a constant fear of mine that something is going to grab on and just take it off. I'm just going to be standing there like, what's up? Because they're kind of big on me. Like, that's why I wear them, because it feels like I've just got nothing on. And oh my God, it's a constant fear.
Yeah, it would be for me too.
Yeah, so, yeah, there's that. Okay. Next one.
Actually,
What?
now that I think about that, there was one day when I was at work. Did that happen to me, or was that a story? I don't know. I think it might have happened to me. I was sitting in my chair and my wheel had rolled over my skirt.
Oh my God.
And it didn't come off, but I went to stand up and it pulled. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh my God.
So it could have been bad, but I caught it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that actually was one of my embarrassing moments, I think. Some
Was
girl.
it?
Well, she was wearing one of those tube dresses.
Oh yeah.
And like the whole thing came off.
Yeah, no, that was nothing like that.
That I would die. Literally.
But this was. I had my own office at the time.
Oh yeah.
And I did it. And still, my instinct is to look around to see if anyone saw.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously there was no one in there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's true. The fear is real.
Yes.
On that.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Okay, next one. At some work event once, I said to someone, "You look really familiar somehow. Have we ever met before?" And they said, "Yes, over there, about an hour ago." That would be embarrassing.
Yes, it would.
You look really familiar. Do we know each other? That would totally be me, though. I could see myself doing that. I'd be like, have I seen you before? You're like, yeah, we just met. Yeah, that's embarrassing. Okay. I was sitting in a very large, full open plant office, and my manager decided it was lunch, but that we needed to make it quick as we were very busy. So as I stood up and started putting my coat on, I said, much louder than I intended, "Are you going to give me time to swallow?"
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just don't talk. I once hugged a valet guy because I thought he was going in for one, but was actually reaching for my door handle.
That would be bad.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Probably made his day though.
Probably. Aww. There's Mo. We don't talk about our animals. Well, I don't talk about my animals. Because that's one thing when Ashley wrote in, she said hello to our fur babies.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, we got 2 dogs, 2 cats, 1 rabbit. Mm-hmm. 3 kids, 2 ghouls, 1 husband, and a partridge in a pear tree. Okay. Oh, I already read that one. Okay. This one is I would die. I was reading these stories to my mom, and this was the story she remembered. One of her friends was at the OBGYN, laying on the table with her legs spread and everything on display. Her male doctor went to grab something, but tripped and somehow landed his face in her area.
Oh my gosh!
He ended up...
he tripped.
Yeah, I've read
no
that
one could
before.
see this, but I did the quotation marks in the air. He tripped.
Well, he ended up rescheduling the appointment for a different day because he was too embarrassed to continue. So, I don't think it was meant.
Oh my gosh, that would be so embarrassing.
Could you imagine his trip from the time he was full standing upright to the time his face was in her area? It was probably like slow motion, and he
Hell
was
yeah.
probably like, this is not happening right now.
Is she fancy?
Horrible. No, she
Oh.
wasn't fancy. Imagine if she was. He'd got glitter all over his face.
Oh my god, that would have been hilarious.
Let's just meld those two stories together and just pretend that
would be
happened.
Great.
Okay. Went to a Catholic christening. Person shook my hand and said, "Peace be with you." I replied, "Pleased to meet you too." Mortified.
Your cat's a lot smaller than mine.
Yeah, your cat's a hoss.
I didn't realize how big he was until I saw yours.
Yeah. Yeah, your cat's huge. Mine's not. My dog's huge. Yours, let's not. So, anyway, at my grandma's funeral, the pastor kept referring to her as Edna during his eulogy. After the third time, I quietly corrected him and said, "Her name is Della, not Edna." He apologized, but on the next time around, he mixed the two and called her Dedna. He gasped, and I died. Dedna! That's horrible! Oh my god!
Dedna.
I mean, what could be worse at a funeral? Don't call him Dedna!
She's like, "Are you trying to tell me something?"
Oh my god. Okay.
Wait, he was talking about the dead person, right?
Yes! He called her Edna. Her name was Della. Next time he called her Dedna.
Well, he was right.
But her name's Della. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. And my last one, my grandfather's funeral, the minister intoned, quote, "And though we are par apart," every time he tried to correct himself, it came out the same. We nearly smothered from stifling laughter. Par apart. Okay.
Oh my god.
Those were my embarrassing moments.
That's good. All right, I did Ghosts of New Jersey.
All right.
And there were only like 7, so I also did Monsters of New Jersey.
That is fantastic because the Jersey Devil's there,
Yeah.
and that's awesome. I love it. So, go ahead.
Okay, so Widow McCrae House Bed and Breakfast in Frenchtown. Widow McCrae House Bed and Breakfast is a pretty little inn that is very popular with tourists. However, it might just be so nice that some guests never want to leave. There have been many reports of unexplained paranormal activity over the years. The house dates back to the 1870s, and the most common ghost story linked to the property relates to a ghost cat. The spooky feline has been seen wandering the halls, and many guests say they feel a cat jump up on their bed during the night, but when they look, there's nothing there.
Ooh.
That seems to happen quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Angel of the Sea in Cape May. Not only does the Angel of the Sea have a pretty name, but it also looks like something out of a storybook with its pastel pink facade. However, the tales linked to the hotel are anything but fairy stories. The hotel is apparently haunted by the ghost of a former guest known only as Miss Brown. The story goes that in the 1960s, she forgot her room key and tried to climb into her room from the outside.
Why would you
Who
do
the
that?
fuck does that?
Where was the guy at the front desk?
Really? However, she unfortunately slipped and fell to her death. She makes her presence known to guests by vibrating the beds, moving the furniture, and causing mysterious light anomalies.
No, thank you.
I think that story is bogus. Nobody tries to climb in the room from the outside.
I mean, there's some pretty powerful drugs out there.
Well, that's true.
Who knows? Maybe she thought she was invincible or something.
The Flanders Hotel in Ocean City. The Flanders Hotel sits right on the beach in Ocean City and has garnered quite the reputation for being a haunted hotel. It is hardly a surprise given that the hotel was named after a cemetery in Belgium. It is said that the Flanders Hotel was once a regular venue for crime boss meetings, which took place down in the on-site catacombs. It is now one of the most haunted hotels in New Jersey thanks to the presence of several spirits. I want to go to a catacomb.
That would be so fun.
One of the most famous ghosts said to be haunting the Flanders Hotel is a young red-haired lady believed to be called Marilyn, or perhaps Marianne. There are also sightings of a small child and a middle-aged man. Guests often say they hear disembodied laughter throughout the hotel, and apparitions are fairly common. Another spirit said to be haunting the hotel is known as Emily, and she appears as a lady in white with long dark hair. She's been accused of unscrewing light bulbs, playing with the door locks, and disappearing into walls. This reminds me when they were talking about her having long dark hair.
Yeah.
Have you seen the commercial? And this is how bad, this is where my mind is, I guess. I think it's some kind of commercial for maybe like bathtub, like some kind of home remodeling something.
Okay.
Or, I don't know. But it shows a woman in a white bathtub, and she's laying back and her hair is hanging down. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay. Well, it's this bathroom, and the bathroom is all white.
Uh-huh.
And it's showing the back of her. So it shows
Oh.
the bathtub, it shows her hair hanging down.
Uh-huh.
And the only thing I can think of is that fucking Ring movie with the girl that always
Yeah.
has the hair hanging down in her face, and it creeps the fuck out of me every time I see it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's supposed to be this like, oh, she's relaxing in a bathtub, and you're like, oh no, that's spooky as fuck, okay?
That's the girl from The Ring taking a bath. Oh,
Anyway,
yeah. I could imagine her turning around and having like this zombie face or something.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
ew.
Yeah, I don't.
Stop.
Anything from the back is kind of unsettling
it
because they could
is.
turn around and be anything.
Yeah, I don't.
Like when that's one of the scariest things on scary movies when they show you the back of someone and then they turn around and it's not what you expect at all. That's creepy shit.
And
Like
then that movie made long dark hair.
Oh yeah.
Creepy.
Long straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. That like on The Others, that movie.
Yeah.
When it's her daughter and she's coming up behind her and she's like, "Are you okay?" and she's playing with that doll. You know what I'm talking about?
It's been years since I've seen that.
Well, she
movie.
turns around and it's like this old lady face.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's so creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
Anyway, that's what that made me think of.
Okay. Anyway.
Main Street Manor in Flemington. Main Street Manor in Flemington is a pretty little inn with only 5 guest rooms, albeit fairly lavish ones. It is also said to be incredibly haunted. The quaint little inn makes the most of its haunted reputation by hosting Halloween events geared around local ghost stories.
Oh, fun.
I would so go if
Yeah.
I lived by there.
Yeah.
Greenville Hotel in Bayhead, or Grenville. The Grenville Hotel in the Bayhead area of New Jersey is apparently haunted by several ghosts. There are frequent reports of apparitions wandering the corridors, and guests will often complain about children playing noisily in the lobby when there are no kids staying at the hotel.
Ooh, it's
There
creepy.
are reports of loud noises coming from empty rooms, and many people have spotted full-bodied apparitions.
Man, invisible kids. That's creepy.
I know, them damn kids. Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. The Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City is said to be one of the most haunted hotels in New Jersey. According to local legend, the spirit there is the ghost of a man who committed suicide by jumping from the 10th floor of the parking structure. The ghost is said to make an appearance every night at around midnight.
Creepy.
Hotel Macomber in Cape May. One of the most haunted hotels in New Jersey is Cape May's Hotel Macomber. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It is claimed that there are multiple spirits haunting the boutique hotel, including a waitress in shabby clothing who haunts the dining room and kitchen. There are frequent reports in these areas of strange noises and silverware being moved around. Another of the most commonly reported spirits is one who inhabits room number 10, but only in the summer months. The spirit is believed to be a former guest who summered at the hotel in the 1940s. She's often heard dragging her trunk around the room.
Okay, that has to be residual, right?
Yeah.
Only in the summer months? Like, ghost vacation?
Yeah, where's she at the rest of the time?
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. Some guests have even reported banging on their door, but when they answer, there is nobody in sight.
Oh my gosh.
That's creepy.
So creepy.
And then I got Monsters of New Jersey. All right, the first one I've got is Big Red Eye.
Ooh, weird.
Back in the 1970s, the folks of Sussex County tell CBS 2 they saw something strange in the forest that only comes out at night. They call it the New Jersey Bigfoot, standing about 6 feet tall, 400 pounds, with gleaming red eyes, hence the name. Some New Jersey Rangers even claim they heard it scream 40 years prior and never returned to that area.
Scream?
Yeah.
Ew. No. That is too creepy. It reminds me, have you seen all of the paranormal caught on cameras?
Yes.
I just watched one. You guys, if you haven't
Is it the
seen
one
this...
where it's snowing?
Yes!
I know! What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
I love that show.
That is, you guys, if you have Travel Channel, look up Paranormal Caught on Camera. It is the best shit ever.
It's literally a Bigfoot running across the road.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other...
There's no other...
not a bear.
No.
It is Bigfoot.
No. Yeah.
And these people that are driving, I mean, they stopped.
Yeah.
It wasn't like really close. It was
Right.
farther up the road.
Yeah, but you could
Close
still...
enough to see it.
Yeah.
But they immediately stopped and they're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, and it's all caught on camera and you
Yeah.
can see it. Oh my gosh, you guys
Was it
look it up.
in Russia?
I think so, yeah.
They say this a couple times on that show that I guess people in Russia have cameras on like almost every car.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. I thought that was interesting.
I know on YouTube they have a lot of dash cam
Yeah.
footage on there, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Look it up.
And it doesn't look, I mean, you can usually tell fake videos.
Yeah.
It did not look fake to me because it was like, it wasn't like in your face,
Yeah,
and it was enough that you could tell what it was.
Yeah.
It was a really good video.
Did you see the one where it was snowing again? It's girls, and they just got in a car wreck. It's the middle of the day, and they're filming outside their window.
And it's like in the field?
Yeah, well, it's like a wooded area.
Yeah.
And it's it's like right there, and they're like, I can't leave. We just got in a car wreck.
Yes.
They're gonna.
And it kept like looking back at him.
Yeah, and it's like waving its arms, like it's trying to scare him off or
Yes.
something. Oh my god,
Yes.
it's so creepy.
It is. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Bigfoot is real, people.
It has to be.
It has to
I think it's from another dimension, because my thing was always like, if that's fucking real, where are these bodies?
Yeah.
They're not gonna live for millions of years.
And nobody find anything.
Exactly. But the footprints that they have found, and this show is like really kind of convincing me, especially of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
And you think it's another dimension that they're coming from?
I don't know. I mean,
I think it almost has to be, because otherwise, we would have found something.
Didn't they say on one of the shows or podcasts or whatever, they were talking about Skinwalker Ranch and the portal. There's some kind of portal on that property.
Yeah.
And didn't they say they saw Bigfoot? That's like where Bigfoots come and go.
I think so. Skinwalker Ranch is insane.
I would never go there.
No.
Never.
I don't even want to go near it.
No.
Yeah, that
I'm
too
all
much.
for walking into haunted houses or
Too much shit
whatever,
goes on
but
there.
no way.
Too much crazy, like over your head shit goes on there.
Things like everything from aliens to Bigfoot to that one story where they saw these two little kids walk out of the portal and just walk down the street and said hi to him when they passed him and just kept on walking. It's like, what the fuck?
They came from a fucking nowhere. Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Oh my god. It is weird.
Okay, so I'm going to attempt to say this name, and it's not going to end well.
Oh no.
Wimatagunis.
All right.
Okay. This is a legend that stems from the Lenape or Delaware Indians. These 3-foot-tall little beings like to use their strength and ability to pull pranks on people. In one story, Wimatanugus Gunis tricks a lost hunter using a mocking voice just to see him run all over the place with a deer on his back.
Oh my god. Don't mock or mimic.
Oh yeah, that's creepy too.
I don't like that.
Yeah. The Cape May sea serpent. Reportedly on April 20th, 1855, in Philadelphia, there was a dispatch claiming a 100-foot-long sea serpent was spotted in Cape May. Ever since, people have been searching for the monster, and in 2013, a 23-year-old fisherman said he came across it.
What makes them think it's not just like a giant snake?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen like an anaconda in person?
Not in person, I don't think. I don't think I've seen one in person.
I've seen one in person. We were at some sort of zoo. I don't remember where it was. But they had an anaconda. Mm-hmm. And it was in this glass enclosure where you could walk right up to this glass enclosure and its face was right there.
Yeah.
And, when you see it on TV, you're thinking, damn, that's a big snake. But seeing it in person is, it's unbelievable how giant these snakes are.
Oh, really? Ugh.
And, yeah, its head was probably like 1.5 of mine.
Wow.
It's gigantic. And I'm wondering if, are they just seeing literally giant serpents because they're out there, or is this like way larger than any snake that is out there? Or
it says 100-foot long.
That's not uncommon for
that doesn't seem that long.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the type of water it's in. Maybe they're not supposed to be able to live in that water.
Maybe.
Or something.
Yeah, because they're cold-blooded, so they would be good in cold, right?
No,
the opposite. They want warm.
Yes,
that's right.
opposite.
So maybe it is cold water, and they just normally wouldn't be in that area or temperature.
I don't know. I'm not big on the sea.
Yeah, obviously,
serpents and stuff.
It just makes me wonder if there is a logical explanation, or because that's.
That paranormal caught on camera. Did you see the one where they got video of something like swimming through the water?
Yeah.
It looked like trash bags or something.
It did, but it was moving in this way that it was weird.
It was weird. It didn't look like an animal.
No, it did. You're right. It looked like a line of trash bags or something, but the way it was moving is weird. It wasn't
moving with the current.
Right. It was like slithering like a snake.
Yeah.
And that's what made me think of it, because that overhead shot of it, it really looks like a snake. Like a big giant snake, but a snake. It just makes me wonder because what I'm picturing, is it just way too big or way too giant to be anything logical?
Yeah.
to classify it as a monster?
Yeah.
Or is it just a, because like I said, seeing things in person is a little bit different than, but then again, on those videos, I do think there was snow everywhere. So that does seem like it would be cold water.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things they said too, because it was kind of frozen. The lake was,
yeah,
and it was going through the ice like it was self-propelled, like it was moving through the ice.
Right.
Where if it was trash bags or whatever, it would have stopped.
Yeah, it would have hit whatever it was going through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes me wonder. Sorry, because like I said, I've wondered that if there isn't a logical explanation or.
And who knows what's all living in those bodies of water?
Seriously, I do not want to know.
I don't want to know either. The Matawan man-eater.
God.
This monster isn't New Jersey folklore. It really existed. It all started July 1916 out in Beach Haven after a young Penn graduate bled to death from a shark attack.
Oh, no.
5 days later, it happened again, and a boy bled to death after his legs were bitten off. After a couple more gruesome attacks in Matawan, a manhunt was started to find and kill the shark responsible, becoming the greatest shark hunt in history.
Holy shit, it's Jaws.
When the shark was finally killed, 15 pounds of human parts were found inside.
No.
FYI, this shark inspired the movie Jaws.
Oh my God.
That's horrible.
That is horrible.
I thought they were afraid of people unless you were right next to them somehow and they're attacking because
I guess there's exceptions to every rule.
there is.
This dude was not afraid.
No.
He wanted to eat you.
He was hungry.
Oh my God, that is horrifying.
The New Jersey Devil.
Yay.
In 1735, Mother Leeds gave birth to her 13th child, a beautiful baby born looking like every other child. Suddenly, his features started to morph into a goat. His hands and feet turned into hooves, and bat-like wings sprung along with a barbed tail. After slaughtering the midwife, he disappeared into the chimney and escaped to the Pine Barrens to haunt us all.
Oh my God. Did you see, again, on that freaking show? Sorry, I keep bringing it up.
I know, that show is awesome.
It is, and I've been binge watching it.
Yeah.
Did you see the one where the goat gave birth to, the human thing?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think someone fucked a goat?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it was deformed in some way.
That thing looked part human.
It did. It did.
Do you think it's not possible?
I don't think it's possible. I don't think, because honestly, how many animals do you think have been fucked by a man?
Yeah, that's true.
If that was the case, if it was possible, there'd be a lot of half human, half animal things running around.
That's what it looked like, though.
I think it was just deformed. There was something went wrong.
That was way wrong and creepy as shit.
Gross. It was gross.
Yeah.
The color.
It looked like a bloated bababy, human baby with hooves.
It was nasty.
Ew, no, that's bad. That's so bad. Oh my God.
Okay, that's all I got.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, I have been corresponding with Ashley, and we are going to go on a journey with her because I think she is going to bring up a lot of things that interest her because they're happening to her.
Yeah.
And I'm going to research and we're going to explore. She did write into Facebook and had a suggestion for me. This was a couple of weeks ago, so I did this one before the anniversary episode. So after this one, she did write me again, and we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff that she's interested in.
Okay.
So it's going to be great. But my first thing that she suggested, she wrote into Facebook, and I will just read this. She said, "Hello, beautiful ghoulies. I hope all is well and hope you enjoyed the holiday weekend." Like I said, this was Memorial Day weekend. So, I've come up with somewhat of a possible topic based on my own experiences that I would like to suggest. Doppelgangers. I know that with all the possible combinations of faces, DNA, and just odds, that there's bound to be someone out there in the world who resembles me, but I swear to goodness I have one of those faces that I constantly get a, you look like blank, when in public. I've heard this complaint from others as well, that they just have, quote, one of those faces. But when I was little, I heard that everyone has a quote-unquote twin in terms of looks out there in the world. How true is that, if at all? Is it just the odds of human DNA that we all have people who just look similar based on some features, and that's how the doppelganger story started? In my own cultural teachings, in some indigenous groups or tribes, they have beliefs regarding twins, which generally have negative associations with them, i.e. a bad omen of things to come if you see your twin or doppelganger. So maybe that's why I have associated a doppelganger with bad news bears. But where did the concept of doppelganger, who is an evil version of you, originate? Or how did it come to be? I've heard stories where twins are separated at birth during the adoption processes in the 60s and 70s, and years later these twins find each other by chance or from investigation, but that's a literal family relation, not some random person who just happens to look like you. So, makes me wonder, is it science or spooky? Thank you, ladies, and everyone. Sincerely, your northerly ghoul, Ashley. So, I looked this up. Now, the word doppelganger literally means double goer. It's a non-biologically related lookalike or double of a living person. They are sometimes portrayed as a ghostly or paranormal phenomenon and usually seen as a harbinger of bad luck. Other traditions and stories equate a doppelganger with an evil twin. In modern times, the term is twin stranger, and it's occasionally used. The doppelganger is often used in a more general or neutral sense in slang and describes any person who physically resembles another person. So, I looked up the scientific aspect of it, and I'm going to butcher this, but it says otoscopy, I think that's how you say it, is a term used in psychiatry and neurology for a hallucination of seeing one's own body at a distance. It can occur as a symptom of schizophrenia and epilepsy, and is considered a possible explanation for the doppelganger phenomena. Criminologists find a practical application in the concepts of facial familiarity and similarity due to the instances of wrongful convictions based on eyewitness testimony. In one case, a person spent 17 years behind bars, persistently denying any involvement in the crime of which he was accused. He was finally released after someone was found who shared a striking resemblance and the same first name.
Wow.
So, again, that was kind of talking about hallucinations, schizophrenia, things that... paranoia, basically.
Yeah.
So, the origin of doppelgangers was the only thing, the concept of evil twins. So, it's ancient and mythical, but only in fiction. I could only find anything, it all originated in fiction, and it's representatives of good and evil of yourself.
Okay.
So, in writings, they would use your twin as the bad side of you, and you have a good side.
Yeah.
So that's where it originated. Basically having a choice between good and evil, and the one is always free to make the choice one way or the other.
Yeah.
So that's how it originated. It was all fiction, nothing really, but it has, created a life of its own. Some thoughts on the possibilities, some form of astral projection, a possibility of a dimension overlap, maybe imprint, and a person who sees or experiences the sight and sound of a doppelganger is sensitive on some level, or possibly some just happens to be in the right place at the right time to experience or the wrong place at the wrong time, whichever
Yeah.
it is. So essentially, if you see another version of yourself, that is said to be your evil half. So that's why it's bad news bears.
Yeah.
It's no good. I did find a couple of facts about it, and I think I've already touched on them. But the first fact is what Ashley was talking about for the odds of what of what is happening. So they're more common than you think. When it comes to calculating doppelganger odds, there are two situations to consider. The chance that your doppelganger exists somewhere out there, in general, and the chance that you'll actually meet them or see them.
Yeah.
So far, no consensus has been reached. In 2015, a professor at the University College London told The Telegraph that the sheer amount of variables in play makes it impossible to truly calculate the odds. So there's just no way to know. I mean, there's no way to calculate that. The same year, however, an assistant professor at Cornell University explained to Live Science that there is, quote, only so much genetic diversity to go around.
That's what I was just thinking.
And some strong resemblances are bound to show up eventually.
Yeah. There's only so many eye shapes, nose shapes, mouth
Right.
shapes, face
Right.
shapes. To, and with
Right.
the amount of people in the world, there's bound to be somebody that looks similar
Right,
to you.
right. Then there's a BBC Future investigation published earlier this year, which concluded that while you probably don't have an exact replica down to the centimeter, finding someone with an extremely similar facial structure isn't unlikely.
Yeah.
So, it like I said, it's more common than you think to find someone that looks at least similar to you. And the second fact that I found was they are believed to herald bad news. According to myth, doppelgangers are considered ill omens. If you saw your friend's doppelganger, it's a sign of impending illness or bad luck. When you catch sight of your own doppelganger, that could be a death omen. So it's all what you believe. So how are you supposed to know if it's a doppelganger? My third fact, according to folklore, there's a single difference. Doppelgangers cast no shadow and have no reflections in mirrors or water.
Yeah.
So
That
if
gave
you
me
do
chills.
see yourself and you're like, that's not real, look and see if you can see their reflection, and then you'll see if they cast shadow, or if they don't, then you can tell if it's a doppelganger or not. I did want to mention too, and Laura posted this on Facebook under her post, and I have talked about it when we did a doppelganger episode not too long ago. Twinstrangers.net is a website where users can upload a photo of themselves, and facial recognition software attempts to match them with another user of like appearance.
Yeah.
The site reports that it has found numerous living doppelgangers, including 3 living doppelgangers of its founder.
Wow.
So, as far as I can tell, your doppelganger would have to upload their picture as well.
Yeah.
So
That's what I was just thinking.
yeah, I mean they're just
So the odds of, I didn't even know about it. So how many people actually know about it and would
Exactly.
actually do it?
right.
So there's really no telling.
Yeah. And there is a doppelganger week. It occurs the first week of February, starting on a Sunday and ending on a Saturday. It is an internet meme in which users of social networking websites change their profile pictures to that of celebrities, athletes, or historical figures or friends whom they share physical resemblance to, and that started in 2010.
So I want to know what it is when you've got these stories of people like when they're in their own home and they see their mom or their dad or their
Yes.
sister or their brother, and they're talking to them and having a conversation, and then they go, like, say they go upstairs, and then the real mother, father, brother, sister walks through the front door.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
That I don't know.
Is that some kind of dimensional shift?
I don't know.
But
I mean,
in a lot of those stories too, when they're talking to the doppelganger, it's like the doppelganger has no personality.
right, or
like-
they don't say anything at all.
Or they don't say anything. Yeah.
Well, and then there was that one story that I read where the guy saw his brother sitting in front of the TV with his back to him, and he didn't answer him at all, and then he found out his brother died.
yeah.
That, oh, I got chills again.
I did too.
That was one of the most, that was the craziest story, one of the
Yeah.
craziest stories I've ever read. And,
Yeah.
and I mean, was that a doppelganger? Was that his ghost? Was it, I mean, he didn't look at him. He didn't turn around. He didn't say anything. It was just, he could tell it was his brother because, you know, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. So, I mean, that kind of thing, I want to know what that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I understand you having someone that looks like you in the real
Right.
world or whatever, but it's the stories of those kinds of stories.
And that kind of seems like two separate things to me.
I think it is.
Yeah, you're right, because doppelgangers or twin strangers or whatever you want to call them, people that look like you, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But when you get to living like
In your
people-
own house.
yeah, like bumping into someone, like that story of the friend of mine that I used to work with. She bumped into her mom on the way to the bathroom, turned the
Yeah.
corner, and her mom was in bed.
Yes.
Yeah, that is super
That's
creepy.
the kind that freaks me out.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And why is it in my house?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. Oh my, no.
If you saw yourself, even that would be even
that would
worse.
be even that would be horrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, like I said, I wouldn't even know if. I guess I would recognize it if it was me. but-
yeah, I mean, yeah, you would definitely 100%. You would recognize
I
it.
don't. Especially my house. It's so little. There was nowhere to run. I'm like, get out! Get out! Get out!
You would find somewhere to go. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I'd probably run out of the house and never go back.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. I mean, I didn't even think about that because I was just looking it up on the internet, you know, trying to find facts about it and scientific aspects
Well,
of
yeah, and that's the, like you said, the scientific explanation.
Right.
What about the other stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, that's when I think of doppelganger, those are the stories I think of.
Yeah.
When you're talking about real people that kind of look like you,
yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't consider that
That's
a doppelganger.
not a doppelganger.
Right.
To me.
Yeah.
That's like your twin
stranger. Yeah.
thing or
You're
whatever.
right. You're right. And that does seem like two very different things.
I think they are.
Yeah. You're right.
I think a doppelganger is a supernatural
And that
thing.
actually makes more sense when it comes to where it originated from, your good side and your bad side.
Yeah.
So that is more of a phenomenon instead of,
Yeah.
hey, that guy looks like me.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, that's an excellent point because, I was kind of focusing on the fun aspect of it of, yeah, people look like you, and that's crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
I found some pictures on the internet where these people look exactly alike, and it's
Yeah.
kind of nuts. But yeah, you're right. Where the supernatural part comes in, that is just super creepy.
It is very creepy.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I would flip out if I was sitting there talking to Peyton, and then I go
Like
to the bathroom or something, and
Yeah.
he's sitting in his room playing on his game or something.
Yeah.
I would flip out.
Yeah, that's scary. That's too scary.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either. Well, I do have some stories, and I'm pretty sure. And like I said, this is a week old, and I haven't read them in a week, so you got to bear with me. But I'm pretty sure they're more along the lines of creepy doppelganger experiences. I believe this person is from someplace foreign, and she says a lot of stuff that I can't pronounce. So this is going to be a little rough, but bear with me.
Okay.
So years ago, I used to work in a large department store. One afternoon, I'm coming down the main escalator that overlooks the entire first floor. I can hear someone calling my name. I get to the bottom, and this elderly couple walks over to me and starts hugging me and asking me how I've been. Janine, it's so good to see you again. How are you? I'm unsure who these people are. I don't want to offend them, so I asked them if they're possibly friends of my parents. So I apologize to them and ask, who's this? They both look so surprised and say, you don't remember us? We spent all that time together in Majora, I think. I say, I've never been to Majora. Your name's Janine, right? Yes, ma'am, it is. And you live in Calmetta, maybe? I don't know if I'm saying any of this right, so sorry. No, I don't live there. I felt horrible as they walked away, and they looked so confused. Not only to look like me, but have the same name.
And no details about where they live and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was... But someone... For these people to come up and start hugging you and be like, oh, it's so great to see you, and... same name and same... I don't know.
That's weird.
That is weird. I mean, I think that's just a coincidence, though. That doesn't sound like...
No, that's too much of a coincidence. They knew where she lived.
But she doesn't live there.
Oh.
She didn't live where they thought she lived, and she said she had never been to the place where they knew this other Janine person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just someone that looks really similar to her, apparently.
But has the same name?
Yeah. And that was another thing that that said it was pretty common, was if someone looks like you, they have your same name as well.
That's weird.
That is weird. Okay, next one. This chilling story happened when I was around 15 years old. My grandmother would spend a lot of time in my room trying to keep it tidy. She was a clean freak. One day I came home and found her staring into my closet. She wasn't moving at all. It was like she was suspended in the middle of cleaning the closet. I asked her if she was okay, but she totally ignored me. My 85-year-old grandmother just continued to stare into the closet. Suddenly, she turned her head slowly toward me, gave me the coldest of stares. She had the evilest eyes I had ever seen. A chill ran up and down my spine. Those were not my grandma's eyes, I thought. Then she looked away from me, walked into the closet, closing the door behind her.
I just got chills. That's so creepy.
When I went to the closet, she wasn't there. She had literally disappeared into thin air, completely gone. I froze for a few seconds. Then I yelled for her and heard her say, I'm down here in the kitchen. Dinner's almost ready. I ran to the kitchen to find her standing there cooking away. Then I asked her if she was there the whole time. She said, of course, dear. Dinner's not going to make itself. She laughed. I mean, she had no idea what had gone on upstairs. What did I find in my bedroom that day? I still have no idea.
That's one of those stories. It's like, where?
Yes!
What the fuck are they?
And it's in the closet!
And you're talking to it
and it acknowledged her.
Yes. Because like I was saying, they are emotional or emotionless, and there's something not right about them.
Yes, it's kind of like the Black-Eyed Kids a little bit.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh my god. Okay. Years ago, I was out eating dinner at a local restaurant with my mom. The large party across the table from ours had a small girl around the age of 4 or 5 who 2 or 3 times walked over to me and called me Sissy and wanted to sit in my lap. I didn't think anything of it until her grandmother walked over. She apologized politely but hesitantly and explained that I just so happened to resemble the girl's sister a lot. This woman pulled a picture of the said girl out to show me, and my blood ran cold. Had it not been for that one fact that I had never met this woman in my life, and knowing that I had never posted for this particular picture, even I would have sworn the picture was of myself. Every minute detail of my face was her to the exact same. Creeped me out to the point I had to box my food, and we left.
Now that doesn't sound like a doppelganger to me. That sounds like that twin.
Oh yeah,
thing.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, it's just someone that happens to look like you.
Yeah.
Okay. This one says, I have several instances of doppelgangers. I had a period in my life when I was suffering from severe insomnia and depression. I was living with my mother then and wouldn't sleep for 3 or 4 days at a time.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's horrible. One afternoon, I was finally able to fall asleep before I went to bed. I let my mom know that I was probably going to be asleep for a while. She told me she would be leaving to go visit her friend. She knew I was very tired. I drifted off to sleep after I heard her car take off. I don't know how exactly long I was asleep for, but I fell into a deep sleep. Then I was scared awake. My bedroom door didn't latch properly, and it flew open with great force. Then I heard my mom say my name very angrily and loudly. I was really irritated and snapped back, "What?" No reply. I looked out to see her car was still gone. There was no one else that was in the home, let alone that could mimic her voice. During this time, Mom was in the early stages of dementia, and we didn't know it.
Oh,
I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
I don't know, but I just got major chills on that one. That's weird.
That's voice mimicking. I hate
Yeah,
that
I
shit.
don't like that.
That doesn't sound like that sounds like exploding head syndrome, kinda.
Kinda.
I bet that's what it was. Because if they didn't sleep for 3 or 4 days, they're fucking delusional at that point.
Yeah, you cannot go that long without sleep
Yeah.
and be right. I mean,
but that's still creepy, and it would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
It says another instance also occurred when I lived with my mom, probably within a few months after the first experience. My sister built her home next to my mom. She is able to see my mom's front porch from her living room window. One morning she asked me, "What the hell were you doing on Mom's porch last night?" I hadn't been there. She and her partner both swore that they saw me standing very still and staring over at them. I was actually asleep that whole night. She even asked me what I was quote unquote, what I was doing, and I didn't say anything. She thought it was odd and it made them feel uneasy. Not too long after, I had some health issues occur. I felt like I was going crazy. My mom's dementia eventually led to her passing away. Again, that kind of sounds to me like,
That sounds like sleepwalking.
yeah, sleep deprivation and
Yeah.
sleepwalking, and he was just asleep on the front porch, I think, standing there.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Okay, and I think this is the last one. I've heard the doppelgangers are warning that something bad is going to happen, and in this experience it did. The last one happened to my brother. At this time he was about 8. My sister has been raising him since he was a baby due to my mom's health issues. One day he asked my sister why she was just staring at him at night. He claimed that she would stand in his doorway and said her face looked white. He would talk to her and she would continue to stare. Of course, she wouldn't do that to him. During this time, my sister was having a hard financial issues and other depression issues. We started smudging our homes and it temporarily kept them away. After I moved away, my mom passed. It seemed to have settled down. It had been several years since any doppelgangers had bothered us, and I was afraid to be alone for quite a while. That could have been... 2 of those sounded like just health issues.
Yeah, those didn't really sound like doppelganger.
The last one
stories to me.
possibly could have, but... I don't know.
I don't know. I was hardly listening to that last story because I am amazed at how little your cat looks. I must have a horse.
Yeah, your cat's pretty big compared to mine. Aw, kitty. What are you doing, kitty?
Look, it's so little.
Aw, he's not little.
You little kitty.
Aw, that's Mo. Okay, next one. I was a sophomore at a university in California when this incident took place. I saw my roommate's doppelganger. I am positive, but I think this doppelganger crossed over from a parallel universe. I say that because she looked pretty sinister. She looked exactly like my friend, but she didn't have the sweet smile my friend has. She looked twisted, almost like a reverse mirror image of my friend. The smirk was definitely not anything my friend could have produced. At the time, I had never heard of a doppelganger and wouldn't call myself an expert, but all I know is that I saw something that looked eerily like my best friend. She wore the same clothes but had a limp, and later I realized that everything about her was reversed. Her buttons were on the opposite side of her dress, and she looked like the complete reverse mirror image.
I'm telling you, there's people that live in the mirrors. And that's why... Oh,
Get
no.
off there, you asshole! Ooh, yeah, that cat's an asshole.
Anyway,
Sorry.
that's why you don't ever look in the mirror. especially when it's dark.
Okay.
I'm going to make that up right now. It's a mirror universe,
Oh.
and people come and visit from it.
Okay, that's way too creepy. I don't like that. I don't like that. Okay. I'm having a hard time figuring out which of these are separated, so I think this is still the same person. But my friend and I were sitting in the TV room in the basement. It was the weekend. The campus was vacated, and my friend decided to go to bed. And a few minutes later, the TV picture started to break up. I tried to fix it, but some movement of some kind caught my attention. I looked towards the stairs and saw my friend walking down into the basement. I was surprised as she had been falling asleep in front of the TV. I asked her if she was okay, and she said nothing. When she reached the bottom of the stairs, I noticed the limp, and I noticed the reversed buttons, even though it took a few hours for that to register.
Yeah,
That's creepy.
I don't like it.
The doppelganger said nothing, and the TV corrected itself, so I sat down with her, and we started watching some old movie.
She sat down with it? Oh my gosh.
About an hour later, my friend came downstairs and asked if she could speak to me. For a moment, I was looking at the two versions of the same person. I went over to my friend, and before I could point out the doppelganger, it had disappeared, and my friend didn't even see her face. She just thought that she had left for the evening or had slipped past us to go up the stairs. So she saw it too. Oh my God, she saw it like from the back.
Oh,
It was sitting on the couch with her friend.
Oh no! The fuck is it?
I don't know. It was the strangest incident I have ever come across. This took place in the late 1970s, and my friend would never believe my story. Years later, however, I met her with her family, and she had a limp. Apparently, a car crash had caused it.
Oh my gosh.
I still wonder if my friend was meant to see her doppelganger, not me, but the doppelganger made no attempt to turn and talk to my friend. She just sat there until she disappeared. The whole thing was a very weird occasion and still gives me the creeps today.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my fucking God. That
No.
is scary shit.
I don't like that.
Woo! Okay. That. It had a limp.
Oh no.
And she had a limp later. Oh my God. Okay. Next one. Once when my sister and I were living together, I got the luxury of having the apartment all to myself. About 20 minutes after she had left, I heard the door open and my sister come storming in. Wondering if something had happened on her way out, I asked if everything was all right. She glares at me, walks briskly down the hall to her room, and slams the door shut. 2 hours later, she walks in again through the front door, and I become pretty freaked out because I know there's no way she could come out of her room and left the apartment without me noticing. I asked her why she had come back earlier and why she'd been so upset. She looks at me like I'm absolutely crazy and tells me that she's been out for hours.
Ugh.
Ugh.
I don't like these stories. Creepy.
Okay, well, this is my last one. About a year ago, I heard my husband's voice very clearly say, "Damn," like he does if he drops something or realizes there's no toilet paper. It was clearly his voice and inflection. My dog even reacted to it the same way she'd react to him speaking, only the problem was he had left for work an hour earlier, and we were alone in the house with no TV or stereo on.
Ugh.
That's creepy.
I don't know if that's not a doppelganger. I don't know what
That's fucking voice mimicking shit. Which, I mean, that could be kind of in the same category with a doppelganger. But then again, it seems that the really truly freaky doppelgangers don't talk at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So, those were my stories. So, thank you, Ashley, for the suggestion. They were truly
Yeah,
creepy.
thanks, Ashley. Now I have to do the witty wrap up so I can go home and not shit my pants. All right.
That would be great for the embarrassing moments.
Hey, I'd have a story for next week.
There you go.
I did horrible blind dates because these are always fun.
Oh, they're fantastic. I love it.
I wasn't feeling great, but decided to meet anyway. We met at a Belgian beer bar. She was gorgeous, fun, and totally into me. I felt a gas pain, so I leaned forward slightly to quietly relieve the pressure.
Oh, no.
I completely, explosively shit myself.
No!
The odor was immediate. I excused myself to the bathroom, but the damage was too great. I walked out of the bathroom, muddy panted, out of the bar, and boarded the train for home. The date was nothing compared to the horror of the feeling 3 weeks recovering from E. coli.
Oh, no.
That's horrible.
Oh, my God.
That's not very funny.
That is not funny. That poor guy.
Okay. Got set up with a guy who literally watched me eat pancakes and only got water. I begged him to order something. I would pay. He forgot his wallet.
Oh, my God.
But it was so weird him watching me. After the whole awkward mess, I told the girl who set us up how it went. She promptly responded, "Yeah, I wouldn't date him."
What the
And honestly, I'm surprised I convinced you to go.
What the fuck?
That
What
is not a
bitch.
friend. That is not a friend. You need to dump that bitch
Oh,
now.
my God. That is shitty. Oh, my God.
I had a date with some guy I had been chatting with, and we agreed to meet at a pool hall. I got there 10 minutes early and sat down at a booth and texted him that I was there. And he just said, "Damn, I told you to message me when you were on your way over." And I was like, "Sorry, I forgot, but I'm here right now if you want to head over." And literally, this bitch just goes, "You should have messaged me. You can sit there by yourself." Dead serious.
Ugh.
Fuck off.
Seriously, what an asshole. Ugh. You know, people who show their true colors, like, before you've even met them.
Yeah.
What is, I mean, what is,
Run far away.
you really wonder why you're single? Mm-hmm. Ugh, what assholes.
I went out with a guy who talked about his mother literally the entire time. I knew her favorite foods, movies, where she went to college, how she makes her spaghetti sauce, you name it, I heard it. At one point, I suggested he date his mom since no other person could compare to her. He looks at me almost like he's contemplating it, and I look at him like he's psychotic.
Oh my God.
And he yells at me and says that anyone who is half the woman his mother is should get down on their knees and thank God for their blessing.
Oh, good Lord, Ren.
Fast forward 2 years and he married his dad's high school sweetheart.
What the actual fuck? What? Oh, that dude has serious mommy issues.
Serious issues.
Oh my God. Oh.
I was supposed to meet this woman, Mary. I got to the designated spot 20 minutes early. No one for a while. About 15 minutes after I was supposed to meet her, a woman walks by. "Are you Mary?" I ask her. "Are you John?" she asks me. "Yes, I am. I'm not Mary."
What the fuck? What?
Obviously, it was Mary if she knew his name.
She's lying, I think.
I don't think she likes what she saw.
Oh my God. It reminds me of on Friends, that one episode when Ross got stood up and two people were like, "Oh, do you think she saw you and left?" That's so bad.
I got set up to meet somebody off the internet who lived about an hour away. He was supposed to pick me up at noon. At 12:30, he calls and tells me he's lost. He thinks he knows where I am. I should just hang tight. What followed was 6 hours of getting a phone call every hour where I offered to come and find him, and he said,
What the
"Nope,
fuck?
a real man doesn't accept handouts like that." Finally, at nearly 7 p.m., he says, "I think I'll stop at another gas station and get more directions." And I just cut him off right there. "No. Sorry. No. Go home.
Seriously?
This isn't going to work. I'm pissed off and frustrated with you. Just go home." "But aren't you going to give me a chance?" he asked. "Go home," I said, and then he called me a bitch.
Yes, I'm a fucking bitch. Go home. It's been 7 hours. I've been called
Wow.
worse. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Goodbye. Oh my God. So was he driving around for 6 hours? That is the dumbest thing. I mean, talk about freaking leading someone on. Oh my
Makes
god!
you wonder, was he really driving around, or was he sitting in his living
He
room?
was probably sitting on the fucking couch, seeing if she would wait for him or something stupid.
Something stupid, yeah.
Dude, and you wonder why you're single.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I met a girl online and we talked maybe 3 times over the course of a couple weeks. Then one night, out of the blue, she texts and asks if she should come over with a bottle of wine. I say sure, since she seemed pretty cool. She turns up half an hour later with an open bottle of wine. She has half emptied already. She finished that off within 10 minutes, and I open another bottle, which is gone in another half an hour.
Oh my
She
God.
passes out in my bed, waking up occasionally, trying to kiss me. She then pees in my bed and doesn't wake up for 3 hours. I played PlayStation.
No, that is horrible. Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Dude.
How do you pee in a bed and then lay in it for 3 hours?
She was obviously beyond fucked
Oh
up.
my gosh.
She probably had 2 bottles of wine before she got to his house with the half a bottle of wine that she already finished. And then he opened another. There's no way that she would have drank that little bit and done that.
No.
She had to have
No.
been just trashed.
God.
Oh my god.
Arranged to meet a guy in central London after work for a date. I assumed we'd be getting food, or at least sitting in a bar because it was the middle of winter and it was dinner time. He turned up with no money, and when I asked what he wanted to do, he would just say, "Whatever you want." I said I wanted food. He said he would just watch me eat.
Oh my god.
I offered to buy him a drink so we could at least go inside somewhere. He refused. I have no idea what he thought we were doing for that date. It was awful.
Seriously, what the fuck? What, you think we're just gonna stand there on the road and stare at
Be
each
like,
other?
You can do whatever you want. I'm going to go get something to eat.
Seriously, I'm hungry and it's cold. Goodbye.
Drinking at the local watering hole when I noticed the place had a new bartender. So I start making a bit of conversation, and much to my surprise, we seem to really hit it off. She starts hinting at if I'm seeing someone. I say no. She immediately reaches into her pocket and starts writing something down. On top is the number of the apartment, and these are directions. We're having a party on Wednesday night, and you should come. Wednesday comes and I'm dressed up and ready to impress. I head over to her place, knock on the door, and there she is, looking amazing. She smiles and hugs me, grabs me by the hand, and drags me through the party until she gets to this big dude. Jonas, this is my roommate. Jeff, this is Jonas. I do the whole pleasantry thing, but when I turn around, she's gone. I mean, poof, gone, like Batman. Not knowing anyone else, I just keep on talking to Jeff. Seems like a good guy. Suddenly he stops me mid-sentence and says, "You're not gay, are you?" She had apparently set up the entire party as an excuse to hook me up with her roommate.
Oh my
I had been on a
God.
blind date with a dude and didn't even know.
Oh no! Oh my god, that's terrible! Poor guy.
She thought she was being nice.
Oh, that's
Oh,
terrible.
that's horrible.
She set up an entire party.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's like really sweet. But
Yeah.
no.
A little bit off on that one. Once went on a date with a guy from work, bad idea, who took me to Dave & Buster's, an arcade for those who don't know. During the meal, he said all of the following. I have a short attention span and can't date a single girl for over 3 months.
Nice.
I want to become a professional video game player.
Oh god.
I want to train to be a professional eater. I don't want to work a day in my life. I just want to play paintball.
Oh.
He was 23 years old and I was 20. Even I knew this was childish nonsense. Later on at the movie, he asked if I would pay for our tickets because he ran out of money on our $25 dinner at the arcade.
Oh Jesus, run.
He sounds like a winner.
God. Oh. It's called ambition. Get some.
I was living in Japan teaching English. I didn't know anyone really, so I turned to the internet to meet people. We decided to meet near a train station. We live close by, and go into town for coffee and to kick it. whatever that is. She tells me what she will be wearing and that she has a bright green moped. I tell her I'll be wearing a red hat. I see her rolling up on this bright green moped. She sees me. We lock eyes and smile and wave. She then eats shit real hard, face first, in front of the hundreds of people at this busy train station. I kind of jog up to see if she's okay, but she picks up her moped looking all embarrassed and just rides off. Never heard from her again.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Oh, that should have been on the embarrassing moments thing.
Okay, one, that poor girl.
I know.
Two, that would be embarrassing. Three, it was amazing you trying to talk like a 20-year-old dude, and I will never forget it.
I know. I'm sitting here reading. I'm like,
kick it.
She then eats shit real hard, face first in front of the.
She eats shit.
At first, I didn't understand.
That's how I was with that. I swear that embarrassing moment, it was like all just letters. I didn't understand it all. I was like, this
And you're right. Who says to kick it? Who's going to kick it? Am I that old?
No, well,
Hey! Fuck off!
but I am too. Because nobody says that. Except for 20-year-old dudes.
Okay.
At least I think. I don't know. Kids these days.
In my day.
Oh, I think we're going to have old lady rants every episode because we do that now.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh. Okay, witty wrap up.
Okay. I was in a restaurant waiting for her to show up. We told each other what we would be wearing. I'm facing the door. She walks in, looks at me, then shakes her head no. Then turns around and walked out. Damn, that hurt.
Oh my god!
Looks aren't everything, people.
That's right.
That's so rude.
God, but you have to have physical attraction.
Well, that's
you just
true.
do.
That's
you
true.
just do.
You do have to have that.
But oh,
Sad. Okay. I was 18. He asked me to pay for his meal and said he would buy the movie tickets. We rode with the other couple we were with, and he said he forgot his wallet in his car and that he would totally pay me back. He smelled like cheese, and it
Ew.
progressively got worse through the length of the movie.
oh.
When we got back to his car, he realized that he locked his keys in his car and asked if we could wait with him for AAA because he didn't want to wait alone. 3 hours of waiting, and he finally got his door unlocked, but never paid me back. Long story short, the smelly man had me pay for everything, $60, and I would have much rather paid $5 to rent a couple movies and stay home alone.
No shit, girl.
Smelled like cheese.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Nasty.
Ew. And I mean, that just smells like ass.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
no.
They don't take a shower, obviously.
Yeah. Ew.
Well, the cheese, all cheese is mold.
Yeah. It's like the
gross.
worst smelling food ever. Ugh.
He had a giant sperm tattooed on his chest.
What?
Showed it to me within minutes of meeting. Talked to each bite of his food before eating it. Worst date of my life.
What did he say? I want to know what he said. I want to know what he said so bad.
That reminds me. And I don't know if she still does this, but Kelly, our sister,
Oh my god.
every time she would put food on her fork, she would sit there and stare at it.
She would look
and
at it so hard.
from every angle, and then stare at it again, and then she would put it in her mouth. What the fuck?
Oh my
Every
God.
bite. She'd sit there and stare at
her whole
it.
life. Her entire life she's done this.
Oh my gosh. I have never seen anyone stare so intently at their food before.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I got set up with the daughter of one of my parents' friends. I wasn't really looking forward to it, but I was on break from college, and she apparently went to school not far from me, so it wasn't the lost cause summer romance type thing. They showed me pictures and said nice things about her. I picked her up from her parents' place. We were both home for the summer, and was a little surprised by how pretty she was. The pictures had been from when she was in high school and didn't do her justice. The date was dinner and a movie. Dinner went really well. We had a lot in common. She was very grounded and down to earth, cared about the environment. If I had a type, she was it. So as we were walking to the movie theater, I slipped my arm around her waist. She pushed me away and got all serious. I'm really sorry because you seem like a nice guy, but I'm a lesbian.
Oh,
I just went out with you to make my parents happy. Sitting through the Chronicles of Narnia with her was the most awkward 2 hours of my life.
aw, that sucks.
I was set up by a friend when I was 16. He took me to the movies at the mall and awkwardly tried to make out. Then we sat in the food court and he asked my honest opinion of him, which I mumbled something typical like, "You seem nice." Without invitation, he then delved into what he thought of me, which was attractive but could be really hot if I lost 5 to 10 pounds. Then he left me for a bit, which was weird, and returned with a lovely gift, a creepy puppet.
Oh my god.
That was it. A creepy puppet.
Okay, I hate that dude.
Yes.
Oh my god. You know what? Like, guys who think that they can judge a girl's looks,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, oh my god, that pisses me off so much.
It's like, okay, dude, do you really want me to go into all your faults?
Seriously. And do
Because
you own a mirror?
Nobody is perfect.
No. And
Nobody.
what gives you the fucking right to point out everything that I look at every day and point out myself? Go fuck yourself.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, dudes like that fucking suck, and they're everywhere.
Well, if that was me, and after he said that, when he left to go get his creepy puppet, I would have done left.
Yeah.
There would have been
fuck
nobody
you.
sitting there
Yeah.
waiting for him.
Absolutely. Yeah, fuck you. What a douche.
I asked her where she wanted to go. She mentioned some restaurant a short bus journey away. I had never heard of it, so I took her number and agreed to meet her there for lunch. We met at the restaurant, which she neglected to tell me was unfathomably expensive. I'm talking, take your wife there for your 25th anniversary expensive.
Oh my god.
She proceeded to order the second most expensive dish on the menu, and throughout the course of the meal, she ordered 3 glasses of wine that I could only imagine the Queen drank at her wedding. This was clearly a deliberate act on her behalf. The general tone of the conversation took a nosedive when she began to tell me that she only dates very rich men.
Fuck off.
Then you better go find you one, bitch. 'cause it ain't
Seriously.
me.
On assholes. Everyone's an asshole.
They are.
Not you guys.
No. We met at a bar. She had showed up first and was already hammered. After a very little bit of, "Hi, how are you?" she turns to me and says, "Guys never call me back. I don't know why. Guys never want to call me back. Why don't you think guys never call me back?"
Oh my god, girl.
And I actually responded, "I don't know. Do you normally start dates this way?" We talked for a little bit more, and then I excused myself and left. About 6 months later, I found out that she was going to meet my sister's new roommate. This town is really damn small.
Oh shit. Oh.
That's all I got.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate it. Email us any story. We'll take it. Anything, ghouls.nightoutpodcast@gmail.com. You can also rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen. Look us up on Facebook. And we will talk to you next week.
Later.
Bye.